Hi, everybody. Hi, Andy. Hi, Kevin.
Hey,
What a
everybody.
fun show. This is going to be a fun show. Cryptozoology. So it's all about monsters. I meant to have the Monster Mash music on. I forgot. Oh, well, just for fun. Because we love our monsters, don't we? But we're going to be talking about some stuff tonight that I think is really, some truth to it. But first, let's find out what everybody's up to. Before we start that, I did post some stuff, you guys. We want to get some likes for Kevin's YouTube channel and for his Facebook page.
That's true.
So I'm sharing it all over. I know Grizel's sharing it. So you guys share it.
Grizel.
And let's get some likes going. Yeah. So what's up, Andy? What's up with you?
So I've been traveling the last couple of weeks and working, and a couple of weeks ago I went to Vegas, and with all of your help and the help of the universe and your guys' help, I managed to be in a pool of money. So we had a group of friends that went together, family did, just a guy's trip. And my brother has a friend that said, everybody put $100 in and we'll play this machine. And I was just hanging out. And Brian was upstairs, and my brother said, oh, I put 100 in for Brian, but he's not here, so I just put it in for you. And well, they hit and did max bet, and the guy won $2,500.
Wow.
So we divvied that up between like around 8 people, roughly, give or take. $300 I won just by being there.
Nice.
So the manifesting works. So just to let you know.
Wow.
And other than that, I've been staying busy. I have a lot of things going on, but how about you, Kevin? What have you been up to?
Let's see. I'm preparing to leave tomorrow for Camp Chesterfield, so I'll be flying up to Indiana and staying until Monday. And they have a big trance mediumship development weekend, which is sponsored by the camp. So there'll be a lot of great mediums there on campus, and teaching probably a good number of students how to enter the altered state of entrancement, trance channeling. So I'm very excited about that. And then next week, I will fly back. I'll get home for 24 hours on, it's probably on Monday night, and then stay 24 hours and then fly out to Boston for a weekend of trance mediumship development workshops up in Boston, and seances with Scott Milligan, Sandra Champlain, and several others. So it's going to be a pretty amazing weekend.
Oh, awesome.
Oh, my gosh. I'm envious.
It's so amazing. You got to make time for what you want to do.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
That is fantastic. You're going to be the number one person to go to for all of this.
I love it.
It's going to be great. And I see you've got the Valentine thing going on your shirt.
My little shirt. My friend, actually, the shirt says meditation is the best medication. That's what it says on the
back. That's good.
That's neat.
These shirts, they're wonderful shirts.
Well, happy Valentine's Day
tomorrow.
But I do like the do. I do like the do.
Yeah, very fun.
Really
I like
nice.
The guy said, "Oh boy, you look better than Justin Bieber." I said, "I'll take that."
Oh, that's good. You know what I got? I got Lena telling me I had gray hair. I'm like, what? What?
It just means more light.
Like, I'm gonna go get some like Nice and Easy or something. I mean, I'm like, well, first time I heard of that one. Okay. I'm not copping to that thing at all.
I hear you.
So anyway,
Debbie, what have you been up
to? Tragedy, loss, sadness,
change.
I mean, really.
Yeah.
Everything has happened this week, some really sad things. And so, just like my neighbors lost their son. And it was so, like, this guy was 52 and he did not, get checkups, I guess. He had a heart attack in his sleep on vacation. And the nicest guy and the best teacher in the world. Like, we don't need to lose them. So we've had a lot of stuff going on and, dealing with it and trying to help. So that's where I've been and doing lots and lots of readings. But, some are hard to do. I have some real hard things to tell people in readings. So
Wow.
I guess it just happens sometimes, but it's okay.
It's true. The universe directed them to you. So you're the companion light worker needed.
Yeah. So things are going. Let's put it that way. Just keep me busy and trying to help people. So that's awesome. But we're going to get onto a different topic now, because we're going to have fun and we're going to give away coffee, Starbucks, which is really great. I actually have coffee here, but I have a feeling it's probably cold by now. I need one of those warmers, and you plug it in.
Right.
Keep that Java hot. And we know some people, Kevin, I think you like cold Starbucks, don't you?
Yes.
Well, I guess in Florida, I'd want something cold there. So good. We got some viewers. Hi, everybody. I'm going to tell you, though, I don't know. I went out and bought all this ghost hunting equipment. And I can't wait. Chris Oliver helped me select some stuff. So I should have some stuff to show you guys next week. I'm going to order this thing that will light up when the spirits are there. And I have
fun.
And I'm revamping the whole area. You see one side of my office. I'm actually putting the camera over here, and I'm going to shoot over here, and I'll have some interesting things there, and I'll set up all the ghost equipment so it may go off. The mail meter might tell you guys some names of people that you know on the other side. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to start doing that and revamping everything. And guess who's on? Alexa, turn the screen off. She just randomly talks. I don't, talks during the day. Do you get that too?
You
guys have
Alexa
talks all the time. So, yeah, but that thing's happened. I've got more paranormal activity going on in my house now, and I don't know what's really changed. But like somebody's here. I've been doing some minutes and I did a reading. Somebody came over, and so it came that they wanted to know what was going on with this person. And I said, is it okay if I open up and let this person come in? And that was all fine and dandy till they came in and touched him. So she came in like about this big ball of energy, just like this, and right on my back. And now this is what they usually do. They come in and they go there and they push a little, and I go, thank you for being with me. But this lady was full of that, and I was like, wow, that's really neat. Then all of a sudden she went and she was on his arm, and you could see the hair moving and up, and he's yelling that she's here, she is touching me. And I'm like, we invited her in. So we did get some messages from her, and then I told her she had to go home with him. She couldn't stay. But so I have a lot of kind of fun stuff. Some knockings and stuff happening in this office now. I've actually recorded. I do my audio readings here. And so I actually have some knocks on audio, but lately they've been shuffling stuff back there, and they've been dropping stuff, and they've been doing things, and a little bit of knocking, but other kinds of things. And I just turn around and go, okay, hi. And so we do have some stuff going on here. So we'll see with the equipment in here if we can get some. I'll have a mail meter, a K2 meter. I'll have the thing that lights up. And I also have the thermometer thing, so I could shoot it, a laser out, and get the temperature to see if it's cold. So we'll be doing some of that next week. Well, not next week, because we have somebody coming on next week. Yep. And Kevin, can you tell everybody who's our guest?
Okay, so next Wednesday evening, we're going to have a wonderful soul, a beautiful light worker named Joshua Ignacio. And he's a sound healer and a channel for the angelics and the ascended masters. And he recently served my church. He came on very high recommendation from another dear friend of mine who runs a metaphysical center out in metaphysical events out in Santa Fe. And my community really took well to Joshua, and he's making his way around the country to different centers. and I thought it'd be fun to invite him on to talk about what he does and what is sound healing, and how do you become a channel? How do you learn to enter this altered state we call trance? So he's going to talk about things like that next week. So I'm really excited about that. So I hope all the viewers come and check back in next week. It's going to be a good talk.
Awesome.
And we put his link, Andy, on the Facebook page. So and to his YouTube and everything. And I went and I liked his YouTube and his Facebook. So try it out. Listen to some of his music.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to get lots of likes for everybody. I can't wait. Well, do you have a picture of one of these creatures that we're going to be talking about? Andy, let's see who's coming up. We all have kind of a couple or one to talk about. And there it is. So you guys might have seen that big bird, right? And it's not Sesame Street. So this picture actually is a picture that was taken when they found some remains in Argentina of an ancient bird. And so they put it together, and this is an estimate of what it would look like. I believe they said each feather would be 60 inches, something like that. Wow. So an average. So they put this together. I think it's actually in LA in the museum. This man has a PhD, and he found it. Kenneth Campbell, I believe is his name. And he is now, became a curator of the Natural History Museum. So he's standing there next to it. So there was an account in Alabama Lake where some people were in a boat, and of children of all things were in the boat too. And the two adults saw this kind of swoop down, and they clearly both saw it. And they said, you know what, that thing could have picked up, any child that was there and carried them off. Wow. And so when they got to researching, this is what they said it looked like, kind of a raven head. Amazing. But, just like huge. Their boat was 19 feet. And so they were saying it, it was almost that long and like 20-foot wingspan, just this huge thing. And, the one guy said it just shook him to the core. It changed the way he viewed the world after he saw that bird.
Wow.
Wow.
So have you guys ever been close to a condor or a bald eagle?
Yeah. Bald eagle, yes.
Okay. So, of course, I live in San Diego, so we have the Wild Animal Park and we have the San Diego Zoo here. So I've kind of seen them. But when I was a child, I was way up in Mono Crater. So way up north of California. And my dad was crazy outdoorsman. I mean, he'd go where nobody was. Wow. So we had this real powdery type of crater. I mean, like pulverized powder. And freaking my mom out big time and moving stones to get us up there. But we had what's called a travel-o. And it was your SUV now. And we got up on top of this crater where nobody's supposed to be really. And so it was an actual crater. And there was a dead tree in it. And I was probably about 4 years old. And was a peanut anyway. And I remember in it was a bald eagle that was about my size. And that's when it really hit me. That was really scary because I was food. And I just wanted to get back in that travel-o and get out of there. And so that was when I realized, there's big birds. But when you go and look at the condors, especially ones that lived a long time ago, they were pretty big. And I'm telling you, I totally believe that these people are credible, that they've seen these big birds all over the place in yards, coming, swooping down and grabbing their kid, all kinds of stuff. And I go, it's like the alien thing. There's just too many accounts to say it's nothing. Mm-hmm. So what do you guys think? Do you believe? Could this be?
I think it's possible, but how is it possible that creature has been hidden from civilization? Because birds don't fly at night.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know how it could hide itself, but it's possible. I really do.
Especially like in Alabama. I could see if it was
Yeah.
like in Argentina or some jungle somewhere. But I think that some of them can be like somehow an eagle was there that was really extra big, or the condors are huge. That maybe it was mistaken, but I'm still open-minded to giant birds. I am. Anybody in the comments, our viewers, what do you guys think? Do you believe in those big birds? I do.
Well, I mean,
Andy,
I think it's possible because, Debbie, out near you is the Catalina Islands, not too far off the coast of California. And there are websites and news reports and research that talk about and pictures of the giants that were excavated, the big bones that were found, and the local natives on those islands even had legends of the giants.
Right. There's a lot of one of the creatures coming up is one that started as a native type of myth. But Andy, do you believe in the birds?
I want to say I do, that there's a possibility, because I think of it kind of like the deep ocean where there's just undiscovered things. And maybe this was an example of where one was kind of pushed out of its habitat. But yeah, I'm open to it.
Wow. Well, think about how we have, what are they called? Megalithic whales or megalithic fish, if that's the right word. These enormous fish that are the size of 20 buses or something crazy like that. I don't know the size of whales, but if we have giant whales, why can't we have giant birds?
Right.
When you're talking about the ocean too, so we talk about the Kraken, right?
Right.
And here we have discovered that there's the giant squids and all of that stuff. So there's some kind of steeped in truth to this stuff. And Julie and Carlos are on my team. They believe in the big birds. I do. So, and I really know that it's amazing to me that they keep on finding things in the ocean. Yep. And when I was young, my mother would always tell me there are mermaids. But I think she was kind of suckered in by some man down there making a fish and putting a monkey together or something. But she said that she lived on the shores of Lake Michigan, grew up there, but she said she went down there and there was on a rock, there was a man there, but it was only about this big. She said there was a mermaid there, and she was kind of, dried up, but she said she had the face like a human and long hair and white hair, and she had the fish tail. And she said, she swears, she said, I was a little girl, but I saw with that fisherman that he had caught a mermaid in Lake Michigan. So, I'm going, I read a lot of accounts where people kind of put things together, and how they taxidermy things together. Yeah. We all know about the jackalope, right?
Yep. I have one in my backyard.
So that I don't know. My mom was little, and I think if I was little and I saw something, I'd probably believe in that too. So we have time probably to look at another creature, and then we have a great sponsor commercial to tell you guys about. So who do we have next? I can't wait for Andy's.
We have the Frogman. So.
Oh, the Frogman.
Yeah.
Do we have picture?
There we go.
Okay. Wow. Okay, this has a long legend. It really does. And this is the one that came out of the Native American, we can say, myths and stories of a frogman. And so it just kept going on, and it keeps going on. And to this day, and they do, he's famous in this picture, and they actually have him on T-shirts. And they run a 5K, and they're very proud and happy about the frogman. But they have plenty of stories. There was one lady swimming and said she got attacked and like pulled down and stuff by the frogman. And
Wow.
a lot of people have seen the frogman, and even a police officer said he chased it. I think they said he was like 3 or 4 feet high and walks on 2 legs.
Wow.
With leather-like skin. But the pictures really vary to look like like the frog there. And that's kind of how they have to jazz it up. And so that one there totally is making it fun and everything and cute. But they have some that he actually looks like a horny toad, like real rough pointy skin on the back and kind of almond eyes, like you'd think almost like an alien would have. And the horns or the ears are real sharp and very webbed hands. So there's plenty of that. And so the police officer actually said that he crawled over a barrier and all of that. They're always going to get away. But the fact is, there was one account I found where the police said that they just found and killed a rather large lizard. And it was like, why would they kill a large lizard? Unless it's a Komodo dragon. What the heck?
Right.
Why would you put that out there? I thought that was really weird. Like, why would you say were they scared? There was a big lizard? I don't know. I live with lizards all around my house, all kinds. But and they don't scare me. They're our friends. So we have lots of lizards.
Did
but
they
I
get
just
in
wonder
your
why
house?
that came out like that. Oh yeah, they're even come upstairs. I found them here. So they get in the laundry, or they get in, I don't know. They hop in, come upstairs. But remember, I live in a house of glass, and I'm totally going to send you guys pictures of it. My downstairs is almost glass all the way around. So they're giant doors, oversized giant glass sliding doors. And I keep everything open. Even the big giant pane windows will open. And so I keep stuff open. What the heck? And they come in. And Florida I remember being in Florida and chameleons were just hopping everywhere. So I imagine they're everywhere in the house.
How cool is that? We just have like furry creatures and wolves and bears and all that, but we don't have that fun stuff.
Speaking of lizards, how as little kids, some of the kids would catch the little brown or green lizards, and they would always open their mouth, and they would let them bite their earlobes and let them hang on their ears like earrings. Kids do that here. There are so many lizards.
And walk around with them hanging on there.
They will hang on to your ear for a long time. It's funny.
I have never heard that before. Ever.
You could probably Google or YouTube that one. I guarantee you somebody's done a video of that.
Okay. Now I will tell you what we did when we got chameleons, because they'd be imported in or something. And I know it's bad. Don't judge me. I was a kid. I didn't do it. We would make jewelry out of them, because they would somehow affix a safety pin to them, and they pin it to a colored, like a pink dress, to see if it would turn.
Oh my God. That's crazy.
Oh, wow.
That's a long time ago.
I didn't, like somebody, like my mother gave it to me or something. But that's what they did. Isn't that bad? That is so bad. I hadn't even thought about that. I thought it was crazy to hang them on your ears, but
oh my gosh.
we were worse. That was a fashion accessory.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Oh, so bad. Okay, it's time for a commercial, Andy. We have a sponsor. Who's our sponsor?
Oh, yes, we do. So tonight's show is sponsored by the lovely Kim Boshu, and she's at the Checkered Lily Apothecary. I apologize. I always stumble.
I make you say that.
Yes, I need practice. So Kim has this great photo. Let me grab that. Her line is called the I believe it's the snow moon, and take a
yeah.
look at that. Look at that shimmer there. And she is.
Love it. I want some.
She's going to use some of the proceeds for a great cause. But Debbie, do you know what that was? I don't have it at the top of my head here.
I'm going to put the link. I'll put the link on because I actually didn't go look at it, and I apologize for that because she did want us to mention that, but it is on her Facebook page, and we will post a link to their Facebook page and give them some press because she's such a big-hearted person that she's just like giving, from the sales on this start tomorrow. You can't get that. Yep. What was it? The snow what?
Snow moon.
Beautiful.
What's the name of it?
It's called
You cut out Snow Moon?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And it's just beautiful, blue, pale blue. And you can see that on the Checkered Lily Apothecaries Facebook page. They will have all that stuff there, the links, everything there, and like her page too. And now I don't know if Andy bopped out because we had an audio problem, but we will see. So anyway, we want to thank them for sponsoring our show and continuing to do that. And we're going to have opportunities for anybody out there that has a business that wants to sponsor this show. It's very affordable, and hopefully we won't mess up your stuff. But Kim makes great things, vegan things, and she is just beautiful. She's been on BuzzFeed. And so, yeah, I mean, she's got a really great business going on there.
How amazing that she's able to make products like women's makeup and things like that, probably lotions and whatever else she's making. Mm-hmm. And she's doing it probably with these organic products that aren't even tested on animals. So she's probably very conscious. I love it. Mm-hmm. I love that.
Oh, yeah. Everything has got to be just right. She's very thoughtful in everything she makes. She makes lip balm, eyeshadows, blushes, creams, and she's into the shea butter and the aloe and all of that. But the colors, she's a natural artist. My sister is her mom, and she is a fantastic artist. And Kim got the genes, and she knows how to put these colors together, and she can name them. And this is just beautiful. This reminds me of Frozen, and that I just posted that Frozen 2 trailer, so some of you might have seen that on psychicfixes. But that looks like an ice castle, and I want some.
It does.
Yeah, I can't really get too many freebies from her. I have to pay. But I might say, I really need a sample. Say it again.
I said, thank you, Kim, for being a sponsor. I think that's pretty wonderful.
Yeah, thank you, Kim. Okay, Kim. Are we ready for another guy that we're going to look at? All these things that we're looking at, I feel, are steeped in some kind of truth, that somebody saw something, and we can't be closed-minded to think that they maybe didn't see something, not of this earth, or something from the other side type of thing, or a demon, something like that, or actually saw something late at night when they were really scared or had a little bit of too much to drink. So we should have another one here. Hopefully it's Andy's. That's a creepy one.
So I am going to talk about a little legend that I remember growing up as a kid in my hometown. And I'll show you a picture of Montana here. And Scobie is this northeast little town. That's where I'm from. I was born and raised there. Just south of there on the map, you'll see Wolf Point. This is kind of where the legend of Goat Man comes in. So, and you'll notice Billings, this is where I live now. But we have all sorts of just local legends. A lot of them are Western, but I've never come across a legend like this before. And I don't know the beginnings of it so much. I do know that people would actually dress up as Goatman and try to scare their kids and teenagers and stuff like that. So here's a photo. The closest photo that I could find was this guy right here. And when I envisioned him using my psychic abilities, I got more of this kind of energy and this kind of a feeling.
Wow.
Now, I remember as a kid, if you went to Wolf Point, which is on a Native American reservation, and so it could have something to do with that. So I do apologize on the history of it. I would need to speak with some local people from the area to get more information. But this photo here that you're going to see, this is what I remember being told as a kid, that if you went over a bridge or you went under a bridge and you turned around, you would see Goatman waving his hand at you. And it could be daylight, it could be at night. At nighttime, he would appear with red eyes in like a field, so you would just see red eyes. It has always creeped me out, and I've always wondered what the history was behind that. But just, as a little 10-year-old kid and you're traveling to a baseball game or what have you, whatever the reason is, and we would talk about these ghost stories, especially if we went to Wolf Point. And I remember to this day, I turned around and I was like, oh my God, I don't want to turn around because Goatman's going to wave at me. And so it was pretty creepy. And I honestly don't know if he's real or I want to say he is, but it's hard to tell if it was based on a legend or if it was just kind of a combination of an urban legend, throughout the country. So that's my take on it, but it's always creeped me out.
Well, I kind of looked it up really fast, and there were actually found 3 videos that people did on Goatman, and it seemed to be across the United States, though I haven't heard it in California so much, but we will be talking about something that we see a lot in California. But there seems to be all over the place Goatman. So there's got to be something to that. But goats, you know what? I grew up with goats, and they do, kind of can get up on 2 feet. But all the ones that I saw were not that big, Right. So I don't know. Was he supposed to be really big, really, really tall,
How they described him is, and how I see him when I visualize him, would be like probably 7 or 8 feet tall, skinny, and a black trench coat. And with the like the goat head, like a goat's head, not a mask or anything, and a human body with hooves. And also, I believe there's a tail. But that could vary depending on what legend you're being told. So
a trench coat.
Yeah.
I'm on it until I get to the trench coat. Was that a London fog or any power? Oh my God. I don't know. Great Halloween costume. That's interesting. But sometimes I wonder if parents just don't, kind of make up some stuff to scare you at the campfire or something like that. Isn't that great? Parents are really good at that. Like, okay, go to bed. No. Oh my gosh. But we do have something to talk about that Kevin and I know a little bit about, and me being from California, and the next creature that we're going to be talking about kind of morphs and has different names. So we'll see if Kevin's creature comes up.
Oh, that looks Californian.
Yes, it is. Sorry, we don't have the skunk ape.
Right.
And I guess that's just a white stripe down that one? Is that the difference?
Actually, I don't specifically know if they actually have a description of it other than it's a hairy man. And I'll tell you this. So I'm in Florida near the Everglades. I'm in Fort Lauderdale. And when you go out to the Indian reservations, the Miccosukee or the Seminole reservations, they will talk about the history of those native Indians. And they bring up once in a while on the tours some of the old timers, the different Indians that will teach. They will talk about how there are legends of the Seminoles and the Miccosukee trading with a hairy ape-like being, like a person, and it sounds just like a Bigfoot. And there are talks of this creature being like a skunk ape. So it has a very offensive, musky smell, and it will shed some of its hair throughout the year. So you'll find clumps of it from time to time. There definitely are Bigfoot, skunk ape tracks that have been discovered that people have poured. What is that? Some sort of a plaster to capture the footprints.
Plaster.
So,
right.
Yep, you can see some of those in some of the locations where they'll show these at the little tourist stops. And then there's even a skunk ape research center in the Everglades. So there's a hotline you can call if you see one and talk to somebody there. Isn't that crazy?
Really?
That's great. I love it.
The Miccosukee told the Spaniards a long, long time ago that they used to trade with this Bigfoot type creature, and that they had these creatures or these beings had some sort of family structure, and they would trade different items. So the creatures would bring various sorts of game or fish or different things like that, and the Indians would provide them with other elements that these ape creatures couldn't that they wanted, but they couldn't get on their own. So they would trade, but they wouldn't interact with them very much. And so there are legends about it.
I totally want to know what they traded. That'd be so great.
I don't know. I don't know what they would find of value. I would think it would have to be something like,
I'd like some beads.
Beads. Well, I would think it would be something like hides or baskets, things to carry things in, because I would think that those creatures were somewhat not so intellectually capable of creating tools and baskets that would store and hold things, but yet the Indians talked about on these tours how they had family structures. So they clearly were humanoid and clearly were willing to trade with the Indian tribes, but they weren't as advanced as the Indians.
It's amazing.
Wow.
Did you guys ever see Harry and the Hendersons?
Yeah.
That was so good. And I'm a California girl, and I grew up in California, but it wasn't until I moved up to the Sierras and the Sierra Mountains. So I did live in Yosemite for many years. That was a lonely thing. But we, of course, in the town I lived in, we had all our places where you go get burgers and shakes and a Frosty, all were the Bigfoot whatever. And they actually had one restaurant that was papered with all the newspaper reports and the big feet, plaster feet that Kevin was talking about and all of that. And I'm going to tell you guys that there are so many credible people that have seen a Bigfoot that I'm in on that one. I really do believe. Now, the picture that you're seeing there, the picture that you see there is a fake, and those people coughed up finally and said it was a fake. And so the big problem is the people going in and making tracks and doing all that. Well, they have personal encounters of seeing these things, and they certainly, to me, don't look like a bear. And so I lived with bears. Actually, I had a little bear that would come by all the time, and I would go lock myself into a Forest Service building while it, would just go somewhere and come back, and whenever it was looking for the trash. And so to me, I go, it would be so different. I can't imagine. Now, I think sometimes people get scared when they're in the dark and all the noises of the forest and all of that.
Mhm.
And it's certainly seen something at night, and especially bears will rise up. They're going to go, they may say Bigfoot, but they found hair samples. They found plenty of footprints and everything. And I just think that there's something to that. We still have a lot of forests in California and all the way up, the coast. So I feel like something's there. And this isn't new and only us. There's a skunk ape. Of course, they call it Sasquatch, right? And we call it Bigfoot. Yeah. So I know that people have, seen this and encountered them in the daytime up close, and at some point I feel like, and we have people that are searching that. Okay, it's called the hunter. I don't like that so much, but I say I'm a ghost hunter sometimes. So they're actually going out there looking for proof and really wanting to get photographs of it. But what's sad about it is that somebody might kill it or have them go extinct. Now, I posted today about the black leopard, I think it was, that they found a female in the wild. It's on the website or on the Facebook page, and it is so rare. But National Geographic ran the story, and now they put out there, hey, look what we found. Now, does that protect that poor creature? There's probably going to be people going out to get it now. And so if we do find something, take pictures of it, and it comes out that, yes, it's real and it's out there. Do you know how many people are going to be out there, probably with guns and looking for this? Because it would be a valuable thing.
And Lord help that poor Bigfoot. If they do catch it, they'll put it in a lab and poke it and prod it. And poor creature.
Well,
if it can even be alive. Go ahead, Andy.
I was telling Brian when we made a trip over to Washington State from Montana in the car, going through the mountains and all that, and and I like to talk about odd things and weird things and strange things and whatnot. And we were talking about Bigfoot and how it was kind of, it's known in that area, I suppose. And the thing was, Brian was trying to joke with me and tell me that he was going to put on a costume of Bigfoot and try to play a prank and run across the road. I'm like, no, you're not doing that. People have guns here. Yeah. I'm like, that wouldn't be a good prank.
No.
But it does remind me of a popular unsolved, it's called Unsolved Mystery Show that used to be on. And the man had a story on there in regards to Bigfoot, and he was traveling through the trail, and all of a sudden he could hear rocks banging, and he looked behind him, and there was a Yeti or a Bigfoot. Just didn't really notice him. Well, he scared it, and it fell down, and it chased him.
Wow.
Yeah, I guess it was pretty fast, and so it was trying to warn him to get out of his area, I believe.
Now, I've heard where they throw rocks at to get them to move. But I'm glad you said Yeti, because probably one of the best accounts I ever, read on the abominable snowman or Yeti was one that had to do with it. Now, what country is it, you guys? Somebody that's watching here? What country was a Yeti at? So up in the mountains. And it was an account of one of the guides that took up some people and what they saw. And they were all on the same page, you guys, that this was like an abominable snowman, this big white haired creature, and they all saw it. And they all, because they're a creature, they're going to have that smell and all of that. But this one was super scary. And I'll find that story, and I'll go ahead and put it on the Facebook page, because that was like the most credible one. I like to read those types of stories, but I really love the true accounts. You really want to find out, does this seem like this could be something real? And so I'm on it for the Bigfoot, I believe, and also Yeti. What's our viewers believe? And I'm open to do a couple little readings right now. I've got my cards ready if anybody wants a reading, and we'll also give away a card because we're coming up short on time here. And but totally, if anybody wants a reading, or just like, what does the other side want to say, I'll throw some cards out. You guys all have to talk for a minute while I zoom in. But I'd love to do that.
And also the sponsor, promote her again.
All right. Let's see here.
What's everybody saying? Anybody saying anything?
No, nothing's coming in yet. We have Holly believes in it. So, but other than that, I don't have any reading requests yet. Julie is saying the Swiss Alps is where she's thinking the Yeti was from.
Mm-hmm. And then Ginny Danielle, she says that she thinks that these beings are part of the inner earth beings that they talk about.
That's very interesting that she's saying that.
I just read an Instagram post that I saved, and I'm going to do some research. And it was a tribe of beings in a tribe of Indians, natives in South America somewhere, and their task is to protect the opening to inner earth. And the legends of this tribe, they describe traveling for days into the earth and all the things they encounter. It was a fascinating post, so I'm going to be doing some research.
Oh, I'd love to talk about that. You know what we have here in well, it's not California. Is it? No, I think it's Mount Shasta is in Northern California. And of course, we have all these legends. When I grew up, it was legends of the gnomes that live there. Oh. But my friend Adrian just went up there, and it's so spiritual there. And I think they believe there is, some kind of city or something going on inside that big mountain. So amazing. And, there's such good spiritual places. On the bucket list is Sedona for me. I want to go in there and into the caves and all of that. So I just lost Kevin. Did you lose him?
Nope, I'm here.
There? No. Yeah, he's still here.
Well,
Debbie, you want me to kick you out and bring you back in?
Yeah.
Real
go
quick?
Ahead.
Okay, I'll do that. All right. So, you're back?
There she is.
Kevin isn't there, though.
I'm here.
Okay, he can see you. Let me kick Kevin out briefly, if that's okay, Kevin.
Okay.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, this is wonderful gremlins again, but I won't be surprised at anything. I really want something to fly behind me so that you guys can actually see some paranormal stuff happen. There you are.
There we go. Julie would love a card reading, she says.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Can you just put her up so I can connect to her name, and you guys can chat about all these great monsters and mystical places to be in America. Do you have the map? Can you bump the map in?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, bump the map in, and then bring the comment for whoever wants the reading.
Okay, and Julie's comment should be up there on the screen. I don't know if you can see it.
I can.
Oh, I don't have it. Okay.
Okay.
Is it Julie? Is it
Julie Dow? Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and talk, you guys. I'll be ready in a minute.
So I think it's interesting. Ginny Danielle mentions that she thinks that's why the Antarctica is so highly protected. And I think she's got, there are some points with that. I think there are actually, in my opinion, it definitely is extraterrestrial related activity in Antarctica, because they have magnetic fields that are moving under the ice, and they can track them. And so I think that's very interesting thing to bring up. And actually, the Nazis were going down to Antarctica to do research, and they think that a lot of them actually escaped to go down there. And the U.S. government, all the world governments have scientific bases on Antarctica, and no aircraft or ship is allowed to go without government permission to Antarctica.
That's kind of like Area 50, or what is that? Area 51.
And actually,
51.
Yep.
Yeah.
And there was actually a map drawn some 500 or 600 years ago by European map specialists that showed literally rivers, ravines, and chasms in Antarctica when they should not have been able to know what was there, because it should have been covered with ice for thousands of years. But yet they know exactly what's below the ice. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So we don't know. We don't know what's going on down there.
Wow.
Kevin,
I know there's a lot of secret places.
Kevin, I was curious too, maybe after this reading, if you could speak on, your thoughts on some of what your take is on these monsters, or if they are appearing to us spiritually, or are they, what do you think the other side's take would be on that?
That's fascinating. I don't think I've ever heard one spirit speak about them. I don't think I've ever heard that, but I have an opportunity to ask at some point, so I will definitely find out. I think they're creatures and beings, humanoids, that have been on Earth, that have their own kingdom, if you will, but yet they somehow are able to remain hidden, very hidden from us. So either there's this inner Earth process going on, or maybe they're dimensional beings that can come into this dimension. I don't know yet.
Thank you.
Oh, Admiral Byrd, Larissa Bates. Yes,
I'm ready.
That.
Okay, so Debbie, you have Julie here.
Admiral Byrd, you were talking about.
Yeah, Admiral. I'll just say real quick. Admiral Byrd was a gentleman who I can't remember the name of the book, but he flew an airplane to the North Pole and found a giant cavern that was massive. He could fly his airplane into the cavern, into the center of the Earth, and wrote a book about this journey. And so that's why when you look on Google Earth, the North Pole is blocked out. You can't see certain portions on Google Earth, and they think that's because it's been hidden.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Admiral Byrd was one of my best friends, her father's good friend. And when her parents passed away, they had kind of a brownstone mansion. Actually, Charles Lindbergh was also the friends. We found the blueprints to Charles Lindbergh's airplane. And we also found Robert Frost was a friend, found his book signed, and found all the pictures of Admiral Byrd's original pictures of some of his pictures on his travels. So very, very interesting. But I do want to give a short reading to Julie. Julie, I feel like you're manifesting in or want or something, maybe a new job or a new project or something, a new stream of money, because the first card down that represents you is this new job. So it's not in your reading, but I feel like, hey, bring it in. I do get talent for you. I feel like celebrating this great talent. So when I get this card, I really feel you do something really well. And lately I've been getting this card because I'm actually doing a lot of celebrities right now. So this is really neat to see this energy over you. I have a man that comes in priority in the future, a King of Swords. So a very strong man, very opinionated, I've got to say, very much a leader, and I feel Libra-like, very compassionate and very intelligent and capable. I feel like there might have been some fears in the past position I have for you, but I get the Judgment card for you. If it hasn't happened yet, I feel like there's going to be this kind of shakeup, which is really great. And you get an understanding about who you are in the world and what you've done and where you want to go. So it's really a good thing. Money's going to come. I have that you get a little bit knowing that it's going to come in the future and come steadfast. So I feel like in a regular time period with the potential to grow. So I feel really good about that. But we are waiting for some results right now. I do have a money-minded woman, and I'm not sure if this is you or somebody else that actually comes in that can give you some good advice about money. And the Magician card's here saying, listen to your thoughts. You may have a money-making idea come. Really, the biggest thing, which is really great, is that you just go with the flow. Whatever comes, whatever's good for everyone's good for you. It's the path of least resistance, really. So it's a good, smooth ride. So this is what I have for you. I feel like that's pretty good. Again, I can't see Kevin.
So
is he there?
Yep, he is here. Yep, he can see you and hear you. I'll go ahead with one for Julie. Julie, I pulled an angel card for you. Let's see if you can see it. Sorry. So this one says let go. So that, that goes along with Debbie's reading as well. The other side is saying, and the archangels are saying, let go of fear. Fear is one. Ego. And just go with the flow. That's perfect time. I feel like this is the time where it's going to start smoothing out. I keep seeing calmness. So that's my message for you.
Andy, since I cannot hear or see Kevin, you're going to be in control now.
Kevin, do you have anything for Julie?
No, go ahead. I was just waiting for you all to do that. I didn't chime in on this one.
Okay. All right. Nope, he doesn't have anything. Debbie.
What, Andy?
He doesn't have anything.
Can you? Yeah. Okay, well, it's time to say goodbye. So, but we want to give away that Starbucks card really fast. So we have some viewers here, and we want everybody to just chime in if you want to be in to win a gift card from Starbucks. Go ahead and please post that you want to be in, and we'll sign you a number. So the first one that says they want to be in will be number 1. We'll do it that way.
Okay. So while we're waiting for that, I do find it, Larissa was saying that earlier, she feels like some of the creatures are from portals or crossing dimensions. So I find that interesting as well. Okay. So Wendy is in for it.
She's number 1.
And we have Holly.
Holly's 2. In.
We have Beth Peoples.
Hi, Beth. I know Beth very well.
And Julie's in.
Julie is 4.
All right. Larissa has opted out on the E card.
Okay. We have more people there, more viewers, so let us know if you want to be in for a prize.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Beth says hi. Nice to meet you, Beth. Welcome.
Hi, Beth. Okay, everybody's got really
All
good
right.
odds to win. Anybody else?
Nope, that's it.
Number 1 wins.
Yay.
Wow.
That
that's
is
pretty good.
Wendy.
Congratulations.
Is it Wendy, our regular Wendy?
Yep.
Okay, Wendy.
Toledo.
All right, congratulations.
Congratulations.
Great.
Wow.
That's wonderful. Wendy, just send me a messenger thing and I'll get that to you. I think I still have a actual Taco Bell card for her. We have to get together.
Yay.
Okay, Andy, you can say goodbye since I can't see Kevin and finish the show, okay?
Okay. All right. Well, everybody join us next week. Kevin, if you want to go ahead and introduce our next week's show.
Absolutely. Okay, so next week we're going to have a visitor, a wonderful light worker named Joshua Ignacio. And he's a sound healer and a channel for the angelics and the ascended masters. He was just at my church, the Metaphysical Chapel of South Florida in Fort Lauderdale a few weeks ago. And we had a really good crowd, sold out one evening. And then also he's beginning his journey across the country, going to different places. And I highly recommend you come and be a part of this experience next Wednesday night, because he's going to talk about what does it really mean to be a sound healer? And then also, what does it mean to be a channel? How do you enter this state called trance? And how do you begin to allow spirit or angelic beings to draw close to you and inspire your mind or your body with words or movement in order to get a communication across to someone in their presence? So I think this is going to be a beautiful gathering, and I'm just delighted to be able to bring him on the show.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't wait to have him on. And
thank you, guys.
You're all about him. So.
Also, our sponsor this evening.
Yep, and we do want to thank Kimberly Boshu. She does operate the Checkered Lily Apothecary, and we have her, I believe it's called her Snow Moon Glitter or Shade, and I have all the links in the description below, so feel free, check that out. And that new line should be out by tomorrow. So
wonderful.
And once again, thank you, Debbie.
Thank
you
you,
hear
Debbie.
me still. And Kevin says bye and thank you.
Bye, Kevin.
No, thank you, viewers.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you, viewers. Good to see you all as always. Thank you for coming back and checking us out.
Good night.